Yo, hey, y'all know the vibes, man. Y'all know who it is, man. Hey, like I said, man, I want to tell y'all how I was able to turn $15,000 into a multi-million-dollar business. And the crazy part about this story is that um, back in like 2013, I was hanging out with the wrong crowd. Got myself in some situations, got indicted by the feds, and I had to go do 6 years in the feds. And I wanted to tell my story because I got a lot of new followers, and I know everybody don't know my story. If y'all know me, I love to be transparent. I love to, let you know my situation, because knowing my situation can change your situation. Because a lot of times people always ask me, can you get in this business with felonies? And the answer is yes, you can. This is one of the businesses that I suggest if you have a background, if you have a record, if you're looking for that second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance, man. And just growing up, and I grew up in the trap. I grew up in the hood. Pleasant City, shout out to West Palm Beach, Florida, man. Pleasant City and Rovere. My mom lived in Pleasant City. My daddy stayed, it's called Riviera Beach, but we call it Rovere. That's where my dad lived at. Just two treacherous areas growing up, man. A lot of killing, a lot of dope dealing, you see a lot of things that, that you just don't want to see, you know what I'm saying, as a child, you know what I'm saying? And I just thank God for giving me the mindset that I was born with, because if I didn't have that mindset, I would have fell victim to a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? The drugs, we're already going through poverty. So, I had my share of things of living, man. And thank God I was able to get through it, because growing up, you have a lot of temptation. I don't drink, none of that, man. So when I was growing up, people used to always try to get me to drink. I would never drink. It was a lot of peer pressure. I just never drank. I decided that was something I just not going to do, because I'm the type of person where I don't want nothing influencing me, And so long story short, man, fast forward, like I was saying, hanging around the wrong crowd. They got indicted. They brought me in like a year later. I got indicted from their indictment that had nothing to do with me. They brought me in on their indictment. Multi-millionaire back then. And this 2012, 2013. So I've been getting money all my life since I was 13 years old. I always tell people when I was 13, I'll never forget I was in middle school and I didn't get not one gift for my birthday, and I never realized how hard times was. And now that I look back at it, man, I have to give a huge shout out to my mom, man. Shout out to Etna, man. Y'all say shout out to Etna in the chat. Shout out to my mom though, man, for real, because now that I look at it, it's like, wow, this woman raised 4 kids. My dad was in my life, of course. I love my dad. My dad was a great dad, big on education, big on being a hard-working man. But my mom, I realized she raised 4 kids on her own, yo. Because we was with her majority of the time. When I turned 16, that's when I went and moved with my dad, because I wanted to learn how to be a man. I knew my mom, she did the best she can do, but I knew it was certain things where I know I needed a father to be able to teach me that I knew my mom couldn't teach me. So like I said, God giving me the mindset that he gave me at such an early age has helped me throughout my entire life. And with that being said, how I was able to, like I said, I used to be a rapper. I used to do all of that, man. I used to do club promotion since like 94, 95. I've been in the industry for a very long time. So imagine like you working 15 years, build yourself up, you finally become a millionaire. I can wake up and buy anything I want. That was the best feeling in the world, man. I remember back in like maybe 2010, 2011, I woke up one day, I bought a $55,000 Rolex. And I had the money to do it. It didn't even faze me to spend $55,000. And and then when 2012, 2013 hit, I got indicted by the feds and I lost everything, man. I even got arrested with my $55,000 Rolex on and lost everything, man. Like everything, man. I had S550, Mercedes-Benz, supercharged Camaros, Tahoes. I mean, I had everything. I had like 400,000 in jewelry. I lost a lot, man. So imagine like losing all of that, and then on top of you losing all of that, I had to go away, and now my freedom is gone. So now I have no freedom. I done lost everything. Most people could not have made it through what I went through, because mentally alone, that is just too much to handle. But I tell you one thing, this is what I told myself. Before I went and do the 6 years I had to go do in the feds, I said, I'm gonna make sure I leave this place with way more than what I came in with. That's what I told myself. I'm gonna leave here with way more than what I came in with. And as soon as I got on the compound, I didn't have my high school diploma. I went and got my high school diploma. That was the first thing I went and did. I always had a lot of talents. I know how to draw. I know how to do all kind of stuff, man. I cut hair. I do everything. So I was doing that in there, reading the Bible every day. I think I read the Bible about 3 times. I was working out. I was eating right. You know, I was just making sure I was taking care of me. I wanted to be a better brother, better son, better friend, better boyfriend. I wanted to just be a better person all the way around, man. Fast forward, I met a guy in there. He was from New York, man, this Jewish guy, and shout out to him, man. He was like, young man, he was an older guy too, like in his 60s, and he said, man, you're a real good dude. I know there's a lot of people interact with you, they gravitate to you. And it was weird that I went to prison and the same gravitation and love I got on the streets, I was getting that in prison. I used to cut everybody's hair in prison, no matter what your race was, what your color. I know how to cut all generations, all cultures. So he was like, man, before I leave here, man, I want to teach you how to trade stocks. And this had to be probably about 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. He was like, man, I want to teach you how to trade stocks. So every day we'll get up in the morning about 5 a.m., we'll go to the TV, we'll be watching the NASDAQ. And all that stuff on the NASDAQ used to look so foreign to me. And he started teaching me what everything means, man, and I started figuring it out. Fast forward, I finally get out August 13, 2019. I ended up getting a job driving box trucks. Like 2 weeks when I got out, I already had got a job driving box trucks. Now imagine my mentality, right? Always been a business owner majority of my life. Always ran my own show. Now I gotta go work a 9 to 5, making about $160 to $200 a day. So now I tell myself like, dang man, like, you know, like I gotta figure something out, man. Like, cause it look like mentally it's so challenging. You know, when you go to prison and then when you get out, because they have it set up to where they want us to commit a crime and go back to prison so they can keep making money off us. That's how they got it set up. But I'm gonna break that cycle, break every cycle. You know, the odds was against me, yes they was. But one thing about me, I was so determined, and it wasn't even about me becoming a millionaire again. I just wanted to live comfortable where I'm not struggling and I'm not stressed out. That was my mindset. So when I got out, I'm working the 9 to 5, I'm asking questions while I'm there. I'm talking to the supervisors, I'm talking to the managers, asking them like, yo, how did y'all start this business? How long y'all been doing this business? How do y'all get y'all contracts? How much do that box truck make when we do deliveries? They was telling me. They say, hey, the box truck, the lowest it might make is $300-400, but on the average it makes about $500 on every delivery that you do. I'm doing the math. I'm doing about 6 deliveries a day. That's $3,000. I'm saying to myself like, wow, they only giving me $180 to $200 a day. They making $3,000. I understand, you know, as a business, they got an overhead. But at the same time, I'm like, I need to figure out how to do this. So, you know, when I got out, you know, I'm telling a few people, not too many people, what I want to do. I'm like, yo, I'm going to trade stocks. I told them I want to trade stocks. I want to start a logistics business. Shout out to my sister from another field, man. Phil took a course learning how to dispatch. I took the course with her. They had a bigger course. I took the bigger course. And when I took the bigger course, I learned a lot about dispatching. So now, a year later, COVID ended up hitting. Cause I got out 2019, COVID ended up hitting. I got laid off. They was like, Tony, I'm sorry, but you know, we gotta lay you off. And so remember, I'm telling people like, yo, I'm gonna trade stocks, I'm gonna do a logistic business. People telling me I'm crazy. I need to just work 2 or 3 jobs. People telling me, you know, things are not like this anymore. Like, just people just telling me a lot of different stuff, right? And that stuff can get to you, man. And that's why I tell people, like, block out all the noise. Like whatever your gut is telling you to do, whatever's in your heart, your spirit, your mind, your vision, that's what I want you all to start following. Don't follow what someone tell you if it's not in your mindset. If you know in your heart what you're trying to do, only get around some like-minded people. Get around people who have the same goals and ambition that you do, because if your mind is not strong enough, you can fall victim to that and just stay at your 9 to 5, or just stay in whatever situation you're in and knowing you don't like that situation. So what I did, I just pushed through, man. I removed myself from everybody. I didn't want to be around nobody, man. You know, not everybody, but the people that I felt wasn't going to help me get to where I'm trying to get to. So long story short, I started saving up my money. I wanted to get the box truck first because that was what I was familiar with. So I used to get off of work and I was using my car to make money. And thank God that I started doing that, because what ended up happening was I was doing DoorDash, Uber Eats, Spark Drive. I'm doing all these apps, making this money in my car every time I get off work. I started having weekends in the car where I'm doing like $300 and $400 in one day on a Saturday and a Sunday. So I said to myself, I said, man, you know what? I'm like, so when I got laid off, I'm like, yo, I'm just going to keep doing this in my car. So I kept grinding, kept hustling in my car. So now I finally done saved up $15,000. I got $15,000, right? So now I'm looking for cargo vans because I had found out cargo vans make some good money. I done saved my money up. I go to get my van down in Hollywood, Florida, man. I wish I knew the name of that dealership. But shout out to them, man, because they don't even know it. They changed my life. And I think one day I'm going to just go pull up on them and see if that salesman's still there, because he don't even know how huge of motivation, man, that he gave me. It was this black guy with long dreads. If I ever remember the name of that dealership, I'm going to put y'all up on it. But what ended up happening was I went there to put $5,000 down. I couldn't get approved because my credit was bad. When I went away to prison, someone used my credit. My credit score was like a 740. When I got out, it was a 420. So the devil, man, was throwing everything at me to prevent me from getting to where I wanted to get to. And this is why I tell people, man, we got to fight. We got to stay strong. Our mind got to stay strong, because I always tell people I had 20 doors closed on me before one. And the reason I say that is because I went telling them I got $5,000 because I didn't know how much I was going to need on expenses for the van, so I wasn't trying to spend my whole $15,000. So the guy was like, we can't get an approval. So he go to $6,000, can't get an approval. He go to $7,000, can't get an approval. So I'm like, no, I'm not giving up more than $7,000. So long story short, I go back home, man. I stayed in my house for like 2 days. I was so scared that like I can't take no chances. I didn't want to take no risks, because if I lost them $15,000, man, I ain't no telling how much. It could have been a year, 2 years, or never I would have been able to get that back. So I stayed in the house for 2 days, and then it dawned on me. Something was like, that's how you got to go with your intuition. Something kept telling me, man, hit that guy up, man. Reach out to that dealer. I called the dealer. I say, yo, bro, if I bring you $8,000, can you get me in that van? He said, young man, I see what you're trying to do, man. You're trying to change your life. I love the direction you're going in. You bring me $8,000, man, I'm going to do everything in my power to get you in that van. Man, I go back down there to get the van. They put it in the system for the $8,000. It still come up on denied. I'm heartbroken at this moment, man. I'm like, God, what am I supposed to do? You know, I'm trying everything in my power, man. You know, I just did 6 years in the feds. I'm going through it. You know, I'm living in a hotel. My homeboy hooked me up with a room. I was sleeping like I had my own little room. You know how people rent out rooms? That's where I was living at, man. Next thing you know, something came over this guy, man. That's how I know God is real, cause, and I don't mean to get preachy or nothing, but I'm just telling my story. The man said, man, let me try something real quick. Let me put this in for $9,000 and see what happens. Normally when I tell this story, I get so choked up because it's so unreal to me, but he put it in for $9,000, man, and I seen the screen light up green and said approve, man. Like, That had to be the best feeling of my life. I finally got approved with my cargo van with a 505 credit score, even though I had to put 9,000 down, just to finally hear a yes, to finally see an approval, to finally see a door opening up for me. That meant the world to me, man. It meant the world to me, man. And that's why I think I go so hard to this day. And I don't want to get emotional right now, but that's why I go so hard to this day. That's why I help so many people, because I know I've been there. It's not a good feeling. It's just not. You know, you just feel so defeated when you keep getting denied. That man told me when I got approved, he said, man, as long as you got that van, you're going to make money. That's what he told me. This was in 2020, 5 years ago. 5 years later, man, I turned that one van into a fleet. We dispatch for over 70 vans and box trucks right now. God, real, yo. Like there's no other way I could have did this. I was so determined. And like I told y'all, it wasn't about me wanting to get all the millions back that I had from not living the best life I should have been living. It was more so I just wanted to be comfortable. When I got out the feds, I had $200 to my name, man. I made over $2 million last year, man. I started with $200. I bust my ass. I grind hard, man. I put a lot into this. I got $15,000. I did $80,000 in 6 months. I did $170,000 the second year. I did $300,000 the next. Then I did $600,000. And the way I was doing it, I had one van, I got two vans. When I had the two vans, then I did like $300,000 that year. Then I started dispatching for other vans. And then I was dispatching for other vans and I had the two vans. That's how I was able to see 600 grand. And remind you, I told you when I got out, I took a dispatching course, 2 courses. Then my sister Phil, I'm gonna go back to Phil. Phil came to me about 2-3 years ago and said, bro, you mentor everybody, who gonna mentor you? I said, what you mean? She said, bro, you at a standstill. You got the 2 vans, you dispatching vans, but that's where you stopped at. You need a mentor, you need somebody to look to. I say, dang, she right. Let me go get a mentor. My mentor worth 9 figures. If you don't know what 9 figures is, that's over 100 million. I said, okay. I got my mentor. My mentor told me what I need to do, told me how I need to elevate. Think about this, man. My mentor, they already lived a life. They already been there, already done that. It's like watching a movie. If you already done watched the movie 10 times, you know what's going to happen before it happens. So they already know what was going to happen before it happened. All I had to do was follow their blueprint. So I followed their blueprint. Next thing you know, I got 6 cargo vans, 2 box trucks, dispatching for like 10 vans. Then I started dispatching for 20. Now I think we're at like 70. And it's like, it's still going. I want to be dispatching for 300-400 vans. I done created over 30,000 jobs in the medical carrier space, the cargo van, the box truck space. But it ain't happen overnight. I always tell people Rome was not built overnight. I can sit here and tell y'all stuff all day long. Hey, go sign up with this company. Hey, use this search engine to find jobs in your area. People be like, hey, I can't find none in my area. Then I go to Google or I'll go to Craigslist or I'll go to cbdriver.com and I find 15 companies in your area. And I get it. Everybody don't know how to use this search engines and Googles and all this kind of stuff. I do get that part. And there's networking systems and all of that. This is why I host a class once a month. For the low, I host a class once a month, man. You know, and I leave a link in below. Y'all, anytime I have a class, just check that link below. You can click that link. I got a class coming up on Saturday. Click the link below. Join my class, man. Like right now, like And you have to surround yourself with great people. That's another thing. You must surround yourself with great people. I thank God for D'Angelo. One of my mentees introduced me to Terry. He was a young man, already got 2 box trucks. He said, man, I want to buy some cargo vans. He got 1 cargo van and started making money under my program. Within like 2 weeks, the man bought another cargo van. I'm like, damn, man, you pretty young. How you got all this money? That's what I asked him. He was like, I never told you, but I got a credit guy. I got my credit fixed, and then I was able to get funding. He was like, I got a Traveler American Express. I got a Business American Express. I use other people's money to use the leverage to start my businesses. What happens is they call it OPM, other people's money. You get the funding. Once you get the funding, then you create a cash flowing asset. So for him, I was his cash flowing asset. I knew the cargo van industry. I knew the box truck industry. I had the connects to where he can constantly get loads and teach him the ins and outs. So the funding he got, he was able to use that to get my program. Now he has this huge fleet and make crazy money. D'Angelo made crazy money. Shout out to D'Angelo. Shout out to Terry. Shout out to Adrian, man. All my mentees, a lot of my followers that come to these classes. These guys done got these people over 7 million in funding. To this day, in like the last 6 months, 7 million in funding. Each person averaging about $100,000 in funding. They get the funding, they start their own business. They start a cargo van business. They start a box truck business. They start a medical carrier business. You know, like what I've been able to accomplish through the grace of God is like a movie. It don't even feel real. Like, this feels so surreal to me. But I know it's real, man. And I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone who's watching this video today. I hope I'm able to change somebody's life, change somebody's mindset, show somebody that, bro, you got options. You still, there's hope there. Your time coming, you know? We only have rainy days for seasons. It's not forever. Everybody got their time, and your time is coming. It's right around the corner, man. I don't know what came over me. Some say, man, tell y'all my story. If you don't know my story, now you know my story. And there's a lot more to my story than just what I told y'all, but for the most part, that's how I was able to turn $15,000 into a multi-million-dollar business. And y'all know it wasn't easy, and this is why I try to help as many people as I can. I feel like all my life I've been living, and I never knew what my purpose was. I was always that guy in the neighborhood. If I found a way to make money, I'd tell everybody in the neighborhood. That was always me. And now look how things work out. Now God put me on a bigger platform to show the world how to make money. I went from telling my neighborhood to telling the world. Man, you can't write this story, man. I just want to tell y'all, man, from the bottom of my heart, like I truly, truly appreciate y'all. Like, man, look, y'all don't understand. I truly appreciate y'all. Y'all motivated me to keep going, motivated me to keep pushing me. Y'all motivate me to keep mentoring people even when I feel like I want to quit mentoring. So I appreciate y'all, man. I really do, man. I really do. I'm approaching 1,000 mentees right now, all across the United States, Canada, Alaska. Man, I done mentored so many people, man. I'm so proud of my mentees, man. A lot of my mentees done became influencers, man. Shout out to my guy Darius. Shout out to my guy London. Shout out to Marlon from the Velaz Express. Shout out to the Carrier chick. Y'all go follow all these people on Instagram and TikTok, man. Like, to see a lot of my my mentees become influencers and actually blow up that's a huge reward. Shout out to D'Angelo, man. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. I appreciate y'all, though, for real, man. Y'all already know what I'm about to say, man. Hey, that's why I tell y'all, stick with us. You heard? Shout out to the whole Stick With Us crew. Y'all go follow me on Facebook, Stick With Us. My Facebook group is Stick With Us. Y'all go join the Facebook group, Stick With Us, man. I appreciate y'all, though, like, for real. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Y'all tap in, man. We got you. That's what I do it for y'all. I do it for the people. I told y'all I'm going to put the culture on my back. That's what I'm doing this year. I'm putting the culture on my back, man. And we're going to run it up. I got y'all. Just know that. Stick with us. Yer.